Well, happy Thursday. It's to you and Michael here tonight. We're sharing, Dr. Michael's actually going to be sharing his words of wisdom, and I am so blessed and grateful that all of you guys are popping on in. We're going to go ahead and do a quick intro on Michael as you all gather, and then I'm going to give it to him to go ahead and talk about the topic tonight, which is the 5 laws of life. This ought to be really interesting, Michael, right?
Yes.
You won't even tell me what the 5 laws are yet. So I'm going to
Nope.
find them out as we go.
You're going to find it out just like everybody else.
I can get an inside skinny on this at all. So take notes. We are recording this, so you'll be able to follow along on Facebook or on Dr. Michael Gross's YouTube channel, which is Dr. Michael B. Gross at YouTube. And you can watch all the recordings there as well. But we're going to go ahead and start by an introduction because we do this roughly about 30 minutes or just a tiny bit over, okay? So Dr. Michael Gross is a professional keynote speaker, transformational coach, entrepreneur, and the author of Spiritual Primer, applying God's 12 transformational laws to reawaken your soul by reconnecting to God, the true source, to experience your true source's love, joy, and happiness. He helps you achieve an unlimited life. And for over 30 years now, Dr. Michael Gross has been a spiritual teacher, a multidimensional healer, transformational coach who is exceptionally skilled in many aspects of soul, oversoul, vibrations, frequencies, body timing, life force energy, and the list goes on and on. He holds many degrees, and some of which include the Doctorate of Alternative Healing Psychology. He's a Reiki master. He's a thought field therapist. He's a certified professional hypnotherapist and a non-denominational minister. The list, like I said, goes on and on and on. I'm going to put his contact information in the comments so that you'll be able to connect with him because he has a real special gift for anyone who's never connected with him before. And I'm going to let Michael tell you what that is after. But Michael offers workshops in reconnecting to God, the true source, cellular release, manifestation protocols, and energy multidimensional healing. He's also an international consultant for corporations and has traveled over half the world. And his clients are in the US, Australia, New Zealand, South America, Asia, and other countries. And now people are even hearing him in the Baltic countries, Sweden, and South Korea. So I am thrilled and honored to take this moment to welcome you to our Thursday night Facebook Live that's also streaming on YouTube. And I am excited to hear what the 5 laws of life are. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this right over to you, Michael, and share a little bit about your nonprofit before we go to, okay?
All right. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. So I thought this evening we discussed a little bit about your true essence and the 5 laws of the universe or of life, and they're immutable, which means you can't change them. The first law is that you are eternal. You always have been, always will be. Your soul is forever and ever and ever and ever. How old is your soul? As old as the universe, trillions of years old. So you exist now and for eternity. And eternity is forever and ever and ever. So that's one of the laws, that you are eternal, you always exist and always will be. And just looking at that, your body, as one of my former students said, is affordable housing. So realizing that your body is affordable housing, it is a place for you to experience a different kind of life. Now, when I say a different kind of life is, look at life on the planet. You feel the wind, you feel the sun, you feel hot, you feel cold, you talk to the nature spirits, you feel water, you feel the emotion of love, anger, frustrations, you feel all those things. But this law that you're eternal, whether you ever take on a body or not, is immutable, can never be changed. And that's what we need to understand. Your soul, which is part of the true source, in which you are of the DNA, so to speak, of the true source, is now and forever. The second law is what you think, you create, and what you create, you experience. That's immutable. Every word has a frequency, an energy, and a vibration. And this frequency, this energy and vibration creates a resonance, which then attracts into you a certain vibration and energy and draws it into your life. It's the law of electromagnetic attraction. So, in other words, you are creating your life 24/7. That's what you're doing. And you're experiencing everything 24/7. And that's so important for you to understand because experiencing your life, you came here to experience everything: joy, happiness, sadness, rebirth, birth, and everything this planet has to offer. And that's so empowering. And if you want to think about this in your life, what you think you create, you experience, just remember that every thought, everything has a frequency and a vibration and energy. And therefore, you are experiencing everything that's possible in your thoughts. The third law is what the mind can conceive, the body will believe. So that law, what the mind can conceive, the body will believe. Whatever you think of your body, whatever you're feeling about your body, whatever you're complaining and moaning and groaning about. If you understand that what you think you create, what the mind can conceive, the body will believe, when you truly embrace that, then you can truly heal yourself. You don't need allopathic medicine. You don't need any kind of medicine. However, think about your programming and your belief system. If you were brought up to believe that, without a doubt, then of course you would look around and say, well, with the mind conceive, the body will believe. Let's see, excuse me, why am I having this problem with my ankle? Why? Oh, I don't like the direction of life I'm moving in, and I'm hindering myself. So it's a message like, I've got to change my direction. Well, what to change the direction should I do? And you will always find that answer. Because if you're walking in a direction that is not applicable to you, that is not harmonious with you, that your body is fighting, pure common sense, critical thinking says, I got to change direction. What direction do I change? Next thing is, since everything is an experience, what you think you create, you experience different opportunities to heal that sore ankle or whatever is going on. And eventually, you vicariously will stumble upon the right direction and the pain will disappear or whatever the affliction is. So understanding that, that's another immutable law. All right, the mind can conceive, the body will believe. Now, the next thing is that everything is occurring in the now, in the moment. Everything is in the moment. Even this sentence that I'm telling you is in the moment. By milliseconds, is going into the past. But it's also creating my reality, which will be creating your reality. And it's so important for us to remember that. I think there's a quote, it's a little off the quoting, but in the New Testament, and Jesus would say, by your faith, you'll be healed. Very important for us to remember. Maybe it's not the exact quote. I don't have the New Bible in front of me, but I'm close enough. So think about, by your faith, you shall be healed. The mind can conceive, the body will believe. Right? What you think you create, you experience. If we stop and think, everything that's going on, you are the SOUL, the creator of your life. Now, why am I bringing this up so far? I'm bringing this up so far because I want each of us to understand that there's not some power out there that's punishing you or creating chaos. You are creating it. And you're like, why would I do that? My answer is, I don't know. Why would you do that? That's my question to you. Why are you doing that? It all has to do with your belief system. And your belief system is based on family, friends, relatives, and religiosity. And again, by the age of 7, your life is pretty much programmed the way you believe. However, the beautiful thing is you can change anything in your life. You can change everything. And that's so important. If you understand that, you can change everything. What does that talk about? Well, you're eternal and you are pure energy, just pure energy. And this energy is mutable, meaning that you can manipulate the energy by your thoughts. And the energy is a frequency, vibration, and a color and a sound, which allows you to manifest your life. Your soul has a sound. It's a beautiful melodic sound. They talk about the Schumann resonance, which is the sound of the earth. And even the vibration and sound of the true source also has a frequency, and energy, and a sound and a color, just like you do. So what I'd like you to understand at this point, because you are part of this DNA and you're connected to the true source. True source is not your father or mother. You are every bit of the true source, except that what you've done is manipulated your frequency and energy and vibration by lowering it so you can create a solid mass, and you inherit, or not inherit, but you inhabit this body called your physical body. And you choose to be in this body to experience everything on this planet. And therefore, if you choose to do that, you have the choice to create the life of love or joy and happiness. Now, even there's something karmic. Remember, karma is nothing but an experience, something to learn. You don't have to live in that karma forever. You're just here for the experience. I would like to just say this about karma. Since it's just an experience and not a punishment, look at karma as I'm learning something new. So if you go out to dinner in a restaurant, you find a restaurant, you think the food is fabulous. It's great. And you taste it and you like it. Well, that's just an experience. Look at karma that way. It's just an experience to empower you. How long you want to live in it? You want it forever? Yes, you can create that. You want it 27 lifetimes? Yes, you can create that. You want it for 5 or 10 minutes or less? Yes, you can create that. See what I'm getting at? Do you hear what I'm getting at? I shouldn't say you see, but you hear what I'm getting at. And what I want you and desire for you to hear is that you're in charge of your life. I know Tia wants to say something, so go ahead.
Thank you, Michael. I have a question regarding karma. If you tell us that our soul is trillions of years old, and we've had many, many past lives. So does karma from past lives with us come to us?
It depends. How do you know in your past lives? Maybe you had, we'll pick a number, thousands of past lives. We'll say 1,000 for the sake of argument. Perhaps 998, you've already, whatever karma there was, you've healed it, it's gone. So maybe you've got 2 past lives karma that you're resolving in this lifetime. Or you can resolve 1 or none, but you come back and do it again. So you finally get it right. So it's up to you. How do you get it right? The important thing is what you learn from it. And what you learn from it, you understand it. So let's say in a past life, you were a con person and you manipulated and lied. Well, you're going to come back in this lifetime. Someone's going to con you and manipulate you and lie to you. Once you get, oh, I'm angry. Why did this person do it? Yada, yada, yada. Maybe it was karma. Maybe you had to learn something. Oh, and once you declare, I learned it, I understand it, I'm over and done with it, thank you, it's over with. And therefore, are people going to lie and con you? They're going to try, but they won't be successful because you won't accept it. And what do? You bless and release them. Call upon the true source, dream heaven, to bless and release this beautiful soul from my life. That's it. So there's an old saying on spirituality. Love everybody, but love some people from a distance. So that's really important for you to understand. Love some from a distance. Now, the last law is everything is in the now. Everything is occurring this second. Everything. So they often say that all your past lives and everything in this moment is occurring now, currently. And it is. Why? Because on an energetic level, on a spiritual level, everything that you have ever experienced, you have a total memory of, a soul memory. So the minute you go to review it, it's happening right now. So let's say at the age of 5, I remember getting an electric train and I just have this memory. It's happening now simultaneously. Of course, you're reliving that in the past. So everything you're doing is happening this moment. Okay. Now, the past predicts the present and the present predicts the future. So if you're living in the past, you're recurring in the moment, in the present. And if you keep reliving it, there won't be any future because everything is happening concurrently. Does that make sense? Yes.
So if it's happening over and over and over again, then you haven't released it. You haven't learned anything, and can you? That's why it keeps coming back because we haven't looked at it, released
No,
it, learned it.
no. If you released it and you buy into it, you accept it, then you're recurring it. Remember, I said you remember 5 years old, you got an electric train. There's no. You want to call that karma of joy? I guess you could, but it's really just joy. So you're bringing the past into the present, and it's happening concurrently. Your memories reflect back to what happens in this lifetime, and there's something called your Akashic records, which every experience you've ever had and all your lifetimes you can access. And when you do, it's now in the present. Anytime you bring it current, it's in the present. Any memory from the past becomes the present because you're remembering it. That makes sense? Or are you
Yes.
still confused?
No, that makes sense. I love your dog, by the way.
Yes, he's concurring. He's agreeing.
But that totally does make sense because um, it's easy to take a memory of joy like the train when you're 5. It's easy to embrace that feeling over and over and over again. But to go and understand some of the other stuff, why keep bringing it back up, right?
Right. I don't know why a person would do that, except that they don't believe they're worthy, which comes down to the old 3: self worth, self love, and self esteem. I know I talk about it a lot, but there's another quote from the true source: the past is but an experience, the present is but a moment, and the future is but a thought. Every experience that you recall goes from the past to the now, the present. So look at it this way: there's a gigantic book of your life. Everything in your life that you're experiencing now and all your past lives, including your soul, you have memory of. So in the spiritual realm, there's no such thing as time. No such thing as time. They don't have like 60 seconds a minute, 60 minutes of an hour. We created this on this planet or whatever planet you're on. And we created that zone of time. But in the spiritual world, there's no such thing as time. It doesn't see itself as trillions of years old, just sees itself as occurring now. That's it.
Because your soul lives on forever,
Right.
so there is no time. It
How
just
do
keeps
you,
on.
yeah, how do you measure forever? You can't. Right.
You can't, but that means your soul can incarnate in any time, in any body that it chooses, or even on another planet, right?
Correct. Or another solar system, or never incarnate.
Wow.
The choices are all ours. But those of us who are listening to me, or those on the planet, chose to incarnate. Why? Well, maybe there's some karmic things to experience, to grow knowledge, not a punishment. Maybe we came here to change this earth, which a lot of us came, into a place of love, unconditional love. And now it's the proverbial Garden of Eden, which really didn't exist, but makes a nice story. But in the beginning, this planet was designed to be love, a place of R&R, and to experience new things that we create, like water, like love, like the animal, mineral, and vegetable kingdom, and just to smell the flowers and just to have the wonderful experience of love. And what happened is extraterrestrials came and they mucked it up. And I want to be sure you understand what I said, mucked it, M-U-C-K it up, so that, things got messed up and we gave up our unlimitedness to be controlled and manipulated. But we chose that experience to realize how we can be controlled and manipulated. You look around right now, there's so much chaos on this planet. Everybody has an opinion, everybody has an experience, and everybody knows what's better. And of course, there are elitists, and the term for elitist is simply, you don't know what's right for you, but we know what's right for you. That's an elitist. Or we look at certain social systems, communism, socialism, so on and so forth. And I hear people, well, it's good, but nobody's figured it out, but we know how to figure it out. It's like, yeah, right. We're here to experience life. We're here to change the vibrations of life. We're here to bring about love. We're here to see what we've created in the past, what possibly we can create, how we can improve it in the future, and how we can make it more palatable and more loving and caring.
I have another question.
Yes.
So how does ego come into this? Because everybody tells us that, you want to live this way, you should live this way, that way. It's that their opinion, their ego, and we all have an ego, right?
What happens is, of course, it's their opinion. That's kind of the elitist attitude. There are people who are saying, be careful, you should eat kinds of food, all the chemicals we're putting in food, and that's true. We should eat pure as possible. You do not have to be a vegetarian, by the way, or a vegan to be spiritual, unless your soul tells you to do that. The most important thing for us to understand is that how does it apply to our life, your individual life? How do I acclimate to it? What am I to learn from it? And how do I create it more lovingly? Sometimes, like those who are listening to what I say, you will use that energy and be able to create a more joyous, loving life. But you see, when you are born, you go through the birth canal. Your guides and angels are talking to you. And you remember I talk a little baby staring up, laughing, always in a cue, whatever they're laughing at. They're really talking to their guides and angels. It could be a grandmother, a loved one, or someone in the past from a past life. Then for the average person, around the age of 3, the veil of forgetfulness descends. What happened is you're not talking to your angels and guides. You don't remember what you chose to learn. And what happens is you become lonely and you miss that companionship. And in your thoughts, you want to create that guide or that angel. So what you're creating, what you think you create, what you create, you experience an energy form who is similar to your angels and guides, doesn't have the same power, but it makes you feel comfortable. And then you're able to communicate it with it energetically. And after a while, it supports you. You can do this or that. You can walk, you can ride a bicycle. Then it begins to take over and control you. It takes on a form of its own, just like the energy of the wind or the energy of a hurricane or a tornado or the energy of the sun. It takes on an intelligence of its own. And what happens is that it begins to control you. Now, the soul knows that the ego is talking to you, but you're blocking it out because you have free will and free choice. But it's manipulating you. And when you realize it's manipulating you, then your ego's greatest fear is, you're not listening to me. Now, the ego knows when you birth out of your body, it no longer exists because you're in living or existing in the true source of pure energy of unconditional love. But up until that point, the ego wants to control and manipulate you to make you feel good and happy. But truly, once you discover that the ego really doesn't make you feel good and happy, it always has to come up with something new and make you happier and happier and happier. All you need to do is, thank you, ego. I appreciate you. I'll get back to you. And just ask for the true source of unconditional love to come into your body, mind, and soul and spirit. Body, mind, and soul and spirit. And just let it happen. And just don't think what it's going to feel like, because now you have limited it. Whatever you think love is supposed to feel like. It's all encompassing. It's joy, it's happiness, it's laughter, it's relaxation, it's sleep, it's fun. It makes you dream, it makes you feel euphoric, it makes you feel at peace. All things, even more than I can describe. So understand that. So our greatest challenge is to realize that our ego controls and manipulates you. So if you want to break the 4-minute mile, which Roger Bannister did way back when, I don't remember when, he just concentrated, I want to beat it. Wasn't his ego. He said, I wanted to excel and beat the 4-minute mile. Why? Because I want to do it. I want to set a new record. A little bit of ego there, but mostly desire. And he did it. After he did it, many other runners have broken the 4-minute mile. Well, how did that happen? What you think you create, you experience. Well, if Roger Bannister can do it, I can do it. I can even run faster. So when you look at those runners and all those beautiful athletes, it's like that's their dream. And if they want to do that, that's their dream. That's really great. I don't want to be, a runner, but I desire to be other things. So that's my dream. But you see, your dreams is something but nothing but an experience. You take that away, the joy and happiness of personal success. I did something that I desire to accomplish. All right. And you feel good about it. It's the same way as sitting in the sun and say, oh, I love the warm sun. I feel good about it. But if you concentrate on the one immutable energy, the frequency and vibration that's immutable, which is the true source of unconditional love, you'll have everything you ever needed and even more. It will heal your body. It'll make you joyous and happy. It'll track everything that your soul knows that you came here to experience. And like I say, years ago when they built the pyramids and they buried, the pharaohs, and they buried all the gold and jewelry, and they took a little money to cross the river Styx so they can come back. Yeah, they came back all right. The grave robbers got all their wealth and everything. So that's where you get the expression, you can't take it with you. The only thing you can take with you is the experience of life and your growth and your joy of life. Look at life as one grand experiment that you've created to understand about love and creation. Think about that. I know we're running a little short on time. Tia, does anybody have any questions before we continue?
No, but not right now. But oh my gosh, Michael, what a beautiful, beautiful message you've just given. I'm so glad you picked this topic.
Thank you. Well,
Thank
I want
you.
to share, excuse me, go ahead.
I was just saying thank you. You just warmed my heart. Thank you.
You're welcome. I want to share everything with you that, first of all, on every Tuesday evening from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., I do what is called soul awakening and review, share a lot of information. But at the same time, you have questions and just ask questions and hopefully I can answer them for you. And this goes from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. And it's done on freeconferencecall.com. So as I said, you can be in your pajamas or whatever. And why don't we give them the information?
Absolutely. The number is 202-926-1059 and the access code, Michael.
125446
Perfect.
One
One
more
more
time,
time.
please.
Yep. 202-926-1059 and the access code.
125446 I love to do that. Now, using the same telephone number, same access code, the second Saturday of every month from 9:55 a.m. Pacific time to 11:01 Pacific time. It's called the Mass Consciousness Healing. What it is that you come on the phone, we chat, we joke around, find out where you're from, And then around 10:03 to 10:05, we bring through the two sources of energy, frequency, and vibration of unconditional love into your body. You become a conduit, and then it comes out of your body through your heart chakra and envelops this whole planet, the animal, mineral, vegetable kingdom, everything that exists with unconditional love of the true source. Even the most evilest person, they feel this true source is unconditional love. And then approximately at 10:57, play a little music. I thank you, and it's over and done with until the second Saturday of the following month. Would you give them that information?
Absolutely. That number is 202-926-1059. And the code, Michael?
The access code is the same, 125-446-pound. Same identical telephone numbers, and that's the Soul Awakening. Then there's one more. And what it is that I record a 10-minute message every Tuesday night, and there are over 353 of them. And understanding that, I thought there were more, but 353. And it's about 10 minutes long. And what you have the opportunity to do, if you're driving in traffic, you're angry, you're upset, you're depressed, you can listen to any one of the 353 messages. All you have to do is dial this number.
That number is 434-300-4170. And the code, Michael?
125-446-pound.
I'll give that one again. That one is 434-300-4170. And the code, Michael?
125-446-pound. And when you dial in, it's going to ask you what number. It starts at number 3 through approximately 353. They're not labeled. And as I said before, the reason is, and I forgot to do it, to be honest, True Source said, no, you didn't. You want to read 353 different labels? No. So let your soul pick which one. Could be number 227. And I get people, just what I desire to hear. Thank you, Michael. Your soul will pick it out. So you can play it in the home when you're depressed or angry. You can listen to it while driving in the car. But also on Dr. Michael B. Gross on YouTube. All these podcasts you can review. Also, there is a limited number of motivational thoughts with an award-winning picture by the award-winning photographer, Tio Knapp. There'll be a motivational thought, and then you'll hear a 10-minute message. While they're not fully there, we'll be adding more and more, but you have the opportunity to do that. So I'm going to ask all of you a favor, is that when you listen to those messages on YouTube, or we do this podcast, instead of watching it on Facebook, go to Dr. Michael B. Gross YouTube and watch that podcast currently. And the reason I'm saying that is they have what they call an algorithm. The more people that watch it, the more people get the message, the more people have their life changed. So that's why I'm saying that. If you want to do it on Facebook, go ahead, but I wanted to recommend that. And the reason I do that, of course, my mission and goal is to get 1% of the population to listen to the message, to reconnect with the true source. So not only do we turn this into a Garden of Eden, but also to help them manifest their spiritual mission and goals. And that's what's so important. That's why I'm recommending that. And the last thought that I have, yes, to you.
When they go to Dr. Michael B. Gross on YouTube, we've been doing recordings for over 2 years, Michael, close to 3 years now. And all those recordings are showing up on YouTube, where it would be really kind of arduous to try and find them on the Facebook pages. So definitely, if you want to look at some of the other ones, definitely go to Dr. Michael B. Gross, because it's getting really, really interesting watching all the stuff that he does. He has powerful messages.
Thank you. The last thing I'd like to talk, well, two more things. One, there's a telephone number, my private cell, and I offer a complimentary 20-minute to half an hour consultation, sometimes a little longer. I'm not going to try to sell you anything, just help you with whatever, and make myself available. And then you make your own decision. The other thing I'd like to talk about, the other item, which is also dear to my heart, the True Source said, set up a nonprofit. So we're a 501c3. For those of you who may not be familiar, it means it's IRS tax deductible, which is really beautiful. It's called the International Institute of Self-Empowerment, TIISE. And so we use the acronym TICE, the International Institute of Self-Empowerment. And we're open to all kinds of donations, especially with the new year coming up and Christmas. Well, why would I say that? The reason I'm saying that is we're getting ourselves really, really down to what I call just what we desire to do. And when I put this together, I was told there are going to be 12 different arms. And the most important one is to develop the arm or the process of helping abused women, children, and men. And since we have an expert on the board, Tio Knapp, who we'll talk about her book, Healing the Holes in the Soul, I asked her to be director of it. So truly, that's why she's here, and she will do an excellent job, I have no doubt. But essentially, what we're going to be doing, hopefully next year, is find the perfect souls, women and men and children, mostly women and men, and the huge majority being women, is to set them up as entrepreneurs so that they can have a business, take time off to be with their children, but also have another income or the major income, and to be able to grow big enough where they will hire other abused women who don't want to be an entrepreneur to work with them. And as they grow and become more successful, it is our hope that they'll contribute to the nonprofit. So we'll have more money to set up more women and so on into business. So it is a nonprofit. Tio and I do not draw any money from it. So right now we're busy setting it up and redoing our website, but I'll be talking more about that. I just wanted to share that information. It's very dear to my heart, and we are making a difference. And the last thing I want to talk about is this is being brought to you by Healing the Holes in Your Soul, which is a beautiful book that Tio Knapp has written. It's all about her trials and tribulations and all the pain she's gone through, and believe me, a lot of pain. And like the mythological bird, the phoenix, rising from the ashes. It's truly an inspirational book, truly will make a difference in your life, and you truly will understand not only healing the holes in your soul, but she is a spiritual warrior. To you, this is a great book. She'll tell you how to get a hold of it.
Thank you, Michael. And I highly, highly, highly recommend that everybody starts with this book, The Spiritual Primer, and get that complimentary consultation with Dr. Michael, because if it wasn't for Dr. Michael and this book, the book he's holding in his hand wouldn't even be in existence. He has helped me so much. He woke up my soul, and oh my gosh, the things that have opened up in my life are absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, I can't even describe the incredible feeling that has come from, I just say, from living mentally in the gutter after everything that's gone on. And he just reached in the gutter one day. I was down there. I'll never forget it. I saw this murky water and a hand come through, and it was Michael's hand who pulled me out. He has saved my life in so many ways. This book is priceless. So start here and connect with him there, because the contact information is all in our Facebook post, and it's here on YouTube as well. Start here. Bless you, Michael. Thank you so much for doing this and sharing so much wisdom with us every Tuesday night and every Thursday night, and once every second Saturday of the month as well. It's amazing what we do. So thank you, Michael.
I want to thank all of you for joining us. I want to thank all of you to realize how important you are to us. And I would like all of you to realize that you are unlimited, that we love you. We enjoy doing what we do. We do it because we care. And what do we benefit from this? We get the joy and happiness of helping you change your life to empower you. So everyone, please share this information and more join us to make a difference because you are the solution. You are the one to make a difference and you are unlimited. We love you all. Namaste. We love you.
Namaste.
Till next time, stay
We
well.
love you. Stay well. Thank you, Michael.